Hi, my name is Dana Seeley, and for my training tutorial, I've decided to show you how to build a story map. And this is one of my favorite online tools of how to show geographic and real estate data. So here we go. This is an example of the story map that I actually just built for a presentation I gave a couple days ago in Silicon Valley on the topic of multifamily development. And basically, a story map is a set of interactive web maps that are pulling data from preloaded layers, and they are organized in such a way to tell a story about a given topic. So to start it off, we're going to assume that the user of this tutorial has basic understanding of GIS principles, geographic information systems, that they have a ArcGIS online account, and that they also have a preloaded web map, and that they understand what a web map is. But they have a preloaded web map, so they don't have to toggle back and forth between making the web map and making the story map. So we'll kick it off here by going to my content. We'll say create. We'll say create an app using a template. We'll say build a story map. The template that I'm going to use is the story map series. So we'll say create app. Esri loves tags, so we have to give this a title and a tag. And so now it's kicking off the builder. So I'm going to use the slide accordion template. That's what you looked at before. So we'll call it that. And now the title slide, we're just going to call this CRE Silicon Valley. And now this is really important. If for your title slide, if you want it to be a map, it's important that the map is already created. You also do have the choice to use an image or use a video or web page. The map that you or the presentation that you saw before my example, I use a PowerPoint slide. So I took one slide and I created a PDF out of it, and then I hosted that on my ArcGIS online account. So I saved the image there, and then when I made that image public, I just took the URL and I was able to post it right here. But for purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to use a map that I've already created. So we're going to select or create a map. I'm going to select a map that I have preloaded, and we're just going to use all the defaults for the first section. So for the first section here, you have the option in all of these panels to put text, to put images, to put web pages. Right now, we'll just say that this is multifamily. I'll just put a blanketed statement in here. Okay. You can also have the option here to change the some of the formatting. So we'll just say for this title slide, I'm just going to use a map of Silicon Valley without any information loaded on it right now. So we'll say add, then we'll add the next section. So section number 2, we'll say is employment, like you saw before there. And I'm going to use a map again for my main frame, which is this area on the right. And what I like about this tool is that as you browse through different sections, you can utilize the extent of the map from the prior slide. So you don't have to zoom in and out every single time in order to show kind of the same relationship. So for the content of our employment section, I'm going to just choose these layers that I have preloaded on that web map that I selected when I said, select a map. So I'll just say commercial existing. This is this data is commercial space that is surveyed by Yardi Matrix in the market. So we're going to use the map default for the pop-ups. So I also have preloaded data and formatting selected for the different pop-ups that I had to customize in my web map before I get to the story map section. So then here we also want to make sure that we choose a legend to view the legend, so the audience knows what those symbols represent. So this is commercial existing space, and then we'll go and we'll add some more data. So we're going to inherit from the first map, and then we'll just say this one is rent growth. I'll just say actually rents and rent growth, because I'm going to use both a heat map of nominal rents and a point layer of year-over-year rent growth. So I'll go back here. For this section, I'm going to toggle off commercial existing and toggle on my rent growth and my rents, rent density. And then we'll just hit add. So this is just the first 3 sections. You can replicate these steps in order to create other topics. But right now I'm just going to hit save. And I'm going to show you how to access the link to the story map once you finish creating it. So you have to say public. You want to make this story map available to anyone so you can get the link. And then we'll just hit close here. And then we'll go back into ArcGIS Online, where everything is organized, and access the link in the content folder. You go to content, and then you scroll down, and you'll see the tutorial 2 that we just created. And since it's public, there you have the link. That'll take you to the actual story map now that you've created it. Sometimes it takes a little while to load. It's a pretty powerful template. But so now that it's done thinking, we can just scroll through the sections that we created. And you can see the different layers of information. You can also zoom in. Let's just say we're going to zoom into the Mountain View area, get an idea of employment versus rents. And it's also important to notice that the layer here, the rent density layer, is something that automatically recalculates as you zoom in and out. So that's more of a function of something that you need to know in ArcGIS Online when you're creating your web map, if you want to turn that feature on and off. So if we zoom out, the color scale changes. But anyway, that is pretty much the basics of how to make a story map using Esri and ArcGIS Online.